War is often remembered through battles, generals, and victories carved into stone, asterisk, but sometimes history turns not on a battlefield, asterisk, but in a quiet room, by a man reading a single piece of paper. This is the story of March 17, 1943, the day a German intelligence report, dismissed and ridiculed by Hitler himself, asterisk, revealed a truth that would shape the fate of the Second World War. It was the day when German spies finally understood that the war was slipping away. Asterisk, quietly, steadily, and irreversibly. Asterisk, and it began with one extraordinary American factory, Ford's Willow Run. Asterisk. The Shadow World of Intelligence, asterisk, by early 1943. The German Abwehr, Hitler's military intelligence agency, scarred by years of internal mistrust. Asterisk. The organization was led by Admiral Wilhelm Canaris. Asterisk, a reserved, brilliant, deeply conflicted man who had served Germany since the days of the Kaiser. To many in Berlin's power structure, Canaris was an enigma, asterisk, a patriot, yes, but not a Nazi loyalist. Asterisk. The Abwehr's job was simple in writing but impossible in practice. To understand America's true industrial capacity, Berlin wanted certainty, Hitler wanted assurance, and grim commander of the Luftwaffe wanted proof, asterisk, that America could not produce at the scale its propaganda claimed. Asterisk. For months, German spies across the United States had been sending back fragments of information, rumors of factories expanding, assembly lines widening, machine tools pouring out in quantities the world had never seen. Asterisk. But no report mattered more than the one centered around a rural patch of Michigan land. Asterisk. A flat, muddy landscape where Henry Ford planned to build the world's largest factory. Willow Run. To the Germans, it sounded impossible. Asterisk. A factory designed to build a bomber every hour. A bomber like nitrogen monoxide, other asterisk. The aircraft in question was the B-24 Liberator, asterisk, a heavy bomber with long range, deep payload, and aerodynamic efficiency, asterisk, that made it faster than the famous B-17. But it came with a cost. The B-24 was one of the most complex machines of its time. Asterisk. Over 1.5 million individual parts, hundreds of hydraulic lines, delicate turrets, asterisk, and structural elements that had to be assembled with absolute precision. Before Willow Run, B-24s were built by scattered military factories at a slow, almost handmade pace, asterisk, to industrialists in Germany. The idea of mass-producing this machine with automobile techniques was a fantasy, a pipe dream of American enthusiasm. To Nazi leadership, it was propaganda, nothing more. Asterisk. But to the Abwehr, asterisk, to Canaris, the rumors were worrying. Spies had seen rail lines being laid, steel skeletons rising, asterisk, and the unmistakable shape of a factory that dwarfed anything in Europe. If true, Willow Run would change the balance of air power forever. If true, the Luftwaffe would be overwhelmed by sheer numbers, asterisk. So, in early 1943, Canaris ordered a summary, a single consolidated intelligence report gathered from agents, informants, and industrial monitoring. That report was completed on March 17, 1943, and its contents were devastating. The report that shocked the Abwehr, asterisk, the March 17 document, was precise, written in the cold, analytical language of intelligence work. It said that Willow Run, asterisk, the massive plant designed by Albert Kahn, America's industrial architect, asterisk, would soon reach an unprecedented production rate. Asterisk. One complete B-24 bomber rolling off the assembly line every 55 minutes. This wasn't speculation. It wasn't guesswork. Asterisk. It was backed by logistics, engineering analysis, asterisk, and reports from spies stationed in Michigan, Detroit, and Chicago. The Abwehr had never seen anything like it. Bomber production in Germany required dozens of factories, specialized subcontractors, and intricate hand assembly. America was doing it in one place, under one roof. Asterisk on a moving line. Canaris read the report carefully. He understood what it meant. Asterisk the United States was not merely expanding production. It was revolutionizing warfare. Germany could not match it. No one could. The skies over Europe would one day be filled with bombers asterisk built by a workforce of men, women, immigrants and citizens asterisk from every state in the American Union, all marching to the rhythm of Willow Run's assembly line. Canaris reportedly whispered to his deputy, asterisk, "If this is true, the war is lost." Why Hitler refused to believe asterisk, the report was forwarded to Hitler, Göring, and the Nazi High Command. Asterisk Göring, the man responsible for protecting German skies, laughed at it. He dismissed it as a light exaggeration. Asterisk he argued that even American car factories asterisk could not turn out aircraft like sausages on a conveyor belt. Hitler reacted with contempt. He believed in ideological superiority, not industrial reality. Asterisk to him, Germany's skilled craftsmen were superior to American mass production. Asterisk to him, quality defeated quantity. He had said it many times. The Americans build for show, not for war. Asterisk Albert Speer, the Minister of Armaments, was the only one who took the data seriously. He understood that American engineering, combined with industrial scale, was a different kind of weapon, one that Germany could not stop. But Speer's warnings were drowned out by Hitler's stubborn pride and Göring's desperate denial. The Abwehr's most important intelligence report was laughed out of the room. Just like that, truth capable of changing strategy was buried under ideology. Asterisk America's advantage. The factory itself asterisk. What Hitler refused to accept asterisk was something Henry Ford had embraced decades earlier. Mass production was not just a method, it was a philosophy. Asterisk Willow Run was designed by Albert Kahn, the greatest industrial architect of the 20th century. His modernist, skylit, reinforced concrete factories asterisk allowed workers to operate in bright, open spaces asterisk, a revolutionary approach compared to Europe's dark, cramped workshops. The Willow Run structure was nearly a mile long. It had its own fire department, hospital, power station, and rail network. Asterisk at its peak, 42,000 workers marched through its gates. Asterisk. This workforce was unlike anything Nazi Germany could comprehend. Asterisk men and women, black and white, immigrants and farm workers, engineers and assembly line rookies, all trained to perform highly specialized repetitive tasks asterisk that allowed the B-24 to move forward on the line like a car. Asterisk the Germans underestimated something simple. A problem broken into 1,000 tasks can be solved by 1,000 hands, and America had the hands, and the steel, and the money, and the oil, and the political will. Willow Run was the embodiment of a country asterisk that had turned itself into the arsenal of democracy. The scale that terrified the Abwehr asterisk, the March 17th report included numbers that would have horrified any strategist willing to face them honestly. Asterisk. Willow Run had 1 million square feet of factory floor, 5 miles of assembly line asterisk, clouds of machine tools running 24 hours a day asterisk, massive railroad yards shipping parts and delivering materials, dormitories and housing for thousands of workers, training schools to convert automobile labor into aircraft builders asterisk. One B-24 required asterisk 13 tons of material, 115,000 rivets, miles of wiring, multiple precision-engineered turrets, an engine output equal to the power that propelled the world into the air age asterisk, and Willow Run was standardizing it asterisk like a Model T. This was no ordinary factory. This was the largest industrial experiment ever attempted. Asterisk. And it worked. German intelligence panics asterisk after reading the report. Abwehr analysts began to recalculate everything. The Luftwaffe's aircraft losses, the rate of attrition in the Battle of the Atlantic, the American pilot training pipeline, the steady buildup of airfields in England. Everything began to point to a single, Terrifying conclusion. If America could truly build bombers this fast, Germany would lose air superiority asterisk and with it, the war. Asterisk the Abwehr sent urgent follow-up requests for verification. They embedded more agents. They monitored steel shipments. Asterisk, they intercepted American railroad data. They tracked machine tool exports. All signals pointed to the same conclusion. Asterisk the report was accurate. Germany could no longer outproduce its enemy. The clock was ticking. Meanwhile, inside Willow Run asterisk, as German leaders dismissed the intelligence, the workers at Willow Run were fighting a different war. Many had never seen an aircraft before. Asterisk, many were farmers' daughters, truck drivers, school teachers, and workers pulled from every corner of America. They learned to rivet, to weld, to install hydraulics, to fit bomb bays, to mount engines, to test instruments. Asterisk Ford engineers struggled with early problems, asterisk misaligned tools, staff turnover, bottlenecks. At one point the factory was months behind schedule, but the American system allowed experimentation without punishment. Failures were corrected. Processes were redesigned. Industrial psychologists studied workflow. Engineers redesigned jigs and fixtures. Production managers optimized every motion, every second, every task. Asterisk, slowly, the line began to move faster, asterisk. By early 1943, exactly when the German report was written, Willow Run was beginning its climb toward the unimaginable goal. Asterisk one plane every hour. The Germans did not know it yet, but the Abwehr report was not predicting the future. Asterisk, it was describing the present, and that reality was about to strike Germany from the skies. Big Week. The warning in the sky asterisk in February 1944. Nearly a year after the March 17th report, the United States launched Operation Big Week, a massive, sustained bombing campaign that targeted German aircraft factories. Germany responded fiercely. But for the first time, the Luftwaffe began to crack. Asterisk. Wasn't the tactics. It wasn't the bombs. It wasn't the strategy. Asterisk. It was the numbers. Every B-17 or B-24 shot down was replaced almost instantly. Every damaged aircraft was repaired using spare parts asterisk produced by the same assembly line logic. Asterisk. Germany could not keep up. Asterisk. Its factories were smaller, scattered, dependent on skilled craftsmen, and limited by fuel, aluminum, and manpower shortages. Asterisk. Willow Run was operating like a force of nature, and American factories, dozens of them, were now building aircraft at similar speeds. This was what the March 17th report had warned. Asterisk. This was the industrial storm asterisk that the Abwehr knew was coming, and Hitler refused to see. The moment of reckoning by the end of 1943. Even the most loyal Nazi officers could no longer deny reality. Speer admitted privately that Allied production was overwhelming the Reich. Göring fell into melancholy, realizing his Luftwaffe was dying under a rain of bombs asterisk built by workers he had once dismissed as amateurs. Hitler still believed in miracle weapons, the V-2, the Me-262 jet, anything to avoid facing the truth written in the March 17 document. But Canaris never forgot. To him, that day marked the turning point asterisk, the moment when German intelligence understood asterisk. The industrial tide had turned permanently. War is not only fought with tanks and soldiers, it is fought with factories, labor, steel, and time. Asterisk. And Germany did not have enough of any of them. Asterisk. Asterisk. If the first half of the war was shaped by blitzkrieg, tanks, asterisk, and German tactical brilliance, asterisk, the second half would be shaped by something far less dramatic, yet far more decisive, production. Asterisk. The German High Command never fully understood this shift. Asterisk. Their worldview was rooted in the supremacy of the soldier. The engineer, the pilot, the individual warrior. To them, wars were decided by courage, willpower, and the genius of commanders, but to the United States, war was a logistical equation, a numbers problem with an industrial solution. This difference in worldview is what made the March 17, 1943 intelligence report so important and so dangerous for Germany. It was not just a document, it was a warning about how modern war had changed and how the Reich could not keep up. The Abwehr's internal crisis. Inside the Abwehr headquarters, the report triggered an uncomfortable silence. Canaris had ordered one of the most extensive industrial studies ever attempted by German intelligence. The results were so shocking that some analysts were afraid to sign their names to it. They double-checked rail shipments, steel orders, housing construction, labor expansion, and energy consumption in southeast Michigan. Each new data point confirmed the same story. The Americans were preparing for an industrial surge unlike anything the world had ever seen. One young Abwehr analyst reportedly said, "Even if they fall short by half, we cannot defeat such a machine." But the Abwehr's job was not to shape policy. It was to provide information, and in Nazi Germany, information that contradicted Hitler's worldview was political poison. So the Abwehr typed the report carefully, added the footnotes, summarized the charts, and forwarded it to the high command. This was the moment where everything could have changed. But instead of shifting strategy, Germany buried the truth under ego and denial. The problem Germany couldn't solve. Germany had brilliant engineers, talented pilots, and high-quality machinery. But they lacked one thing that mattered more than all the rest. Scale. German aircraft factories in 1942-43 produced machines of elegance and efficiency. The Bf-109, the FW-190, the Ru-88. These were crafted by skilled hands in workshops that resembled laboratories, more than assembly plants. But modern war did not reward craftsmanship. Modern war rewarded quantity. Every day. Germany lost aircraft over Russia, over Africa, over the Atlantic, over France, over Germany itself. Every day the United States was building more. The Abwehr's report didn't just highlight Willow Run. It highlighted a transformation across America. Douglas building 600 planes a month. Boeing expanding. Seattle into a forest of factories. North. American aviation building fighters faster than Germany could shoot them down. General Motors turning auto plants into engine lines. Packard building Merlin engines under license for the P-51 Mustang. Kaiser assembling Liberty ships in days instead of months. Willow Run was merely the most symbolic the clearest, boldest example of a nation turning its entire economy into a weapon. To ignore this was to ignore reality itself. But Hitler did exactly that. Hitler's blind faith and limitations to Hitler. The Americans were a mongrel nation, a society too diverse, too individualistic, too undisciplined. Fight a sustained war. He believed. The United States was incapable of producing complex machinery on a massive scale. He believed the deep divisions in American society would crack under wartime pressure. He believed that industrial expansion would be undone by strikes, labor disputes, inexperience, and poor management. In other words, he believed exactly the opposite of what Willow Run represented. And so, when the March 17th report reached him, he treated it as a joke. Gring joined him. He mocked the idea. 1 bomber per hour? Fairy tales. But Albert Speer, the only man in the room who understood. Industrial warfare sat in silence. He knew the danger wasn't in American propaganda. The danger was in American process. America had mastered something Germany never could. The art of making complexity simple. And Willow Run was the proof. American workers, the secret weapon. While German leaders ridiculed the report, the people of Willow Run were proving it true. Every shift brought thousands into the plant. Farmhands from Iowa. Miners from Pennsylvania. Machinists from Detroit. Housewives from Ohio. Sharecroppers fleeing poverty in the South. Immigrants chasing a new life many had never worked in manufacturing before. But the American training system moved fast. Every worker learned a task. Just one task, perfected through repetition until it became second nature. Riveting, tool fitting, hydraulic installation, electrical routing, wing assembly, tail section, preparation, multiply that by 40,000 workers, and the result was a human machine of incredible power. This was industrial democracy, a workforce of ordinary citizens building extraordinary weapons. Hitler could not comprehend this. He could not imagine a factory where women, minorities, and immigrants worked side by side on equal footing, driven by shared purpose. But the result was undeniable. The B-24s rolled forward, exactly as the Abwehr predicted. One nearly finished every hour. The Abwehr's widening fear. After March 17th, the Abwehr began to panic quietly. If Willow Run was real, then America's potential wartime peak could surpass any calculation. Abwehr economists began redrafting charts, estimating American industrial capacity. By their calculations, American factories could eventually build 80,000 aircraft per year, tens of thousands of engines, millions of tons of ammunition. Ships faster than German submarines could sink them. Tanks, trucks, radios, radar, and fuel in overwhelming supply. These numbers were not theoretical. They were already beginning to happen. The Abwehr even warned that Germany might need to reconsider its entire strategy, shifting toward defensive warfare before the tide became irreversible. But Hitler refused. He was convinced that morale, willpower, and superior German blood would triumph over machinery. He believed the war would still be won in the East. He believed the Soviet Union would collapse. He believed America would struggle with distance and logistics. All of these beliefs were illusions, and the March 17th report had shattered them. The skies began to change. In 1943, Germany still held strong defensive lines. Its fighters were deadly. Its pilots were experienced. Its radar systems were sophisticated. But slowly, the balance shifted. First, larger bomber formations appeared. Then, deeper raids. Then bombers with longer ranges. Then, escort fighters. P-38s. Then P-47s. And finally the P-51 Mustang. Behind each of these changes was the invisible force that the Abwehr had identified: American industry. By late 1943, German pilots reported that the bombers never seemed to end waves upon waves, sometimes stretching from horizon to horizon. Even when a mission cost 60 aircraft, the Americans replaced them within days. By early 1944, Germany began losing hundreds of fighters per month. Fuel shortages, crippled pilot training. Experienced veterans were replaced by inexperienced teenagers. Meanwhile, America was training pilots faster than Germany could shoot them down. This was the industrial war that the March 17th report had predicted, the moment Germany understood. In the summer of 1944, after the devastation of Big Week and the firestorms that followed, Albert Speer finally confronted Hitler with a truth he had avoided for too long. Speer said, "The enemy's production is greater than all our estimates. They produce faster than we can destroy." Hitler rejected this. But deep inside, even he sensed the shift. Bombers filled the sky, factories burned, railroads exploded, synthetic fuel plants collapsed, U-boat pens shook under massive detonations, and in every one of those planes was the echo of Willow Run, the sound of an assembly line humming across the ocean. Germany's hope for victory was fading into smoke. The fate of Canaris while the war raged on. Admiral Wilhelm Canaris faced his own doom. His warnings had been ignored, his intelligence buried, his realism treated as defeatism. By 1944, Hitler suspected disloyalty within the Abwehr. Canaris was watched, followed, interrogated, and eventually arrested. He was executed in April 1945, just weeks before the end of the war. But the report he oversaw the March 17th analysis of Willow Run remains one of the most accurate and most ignored intelligence documents of the entire conflict. In many ways, Canaris saw the war's ending more clearly than Hitler ever did. The factory that broke the Luftwaffe by the end of the war, Willow Run, had produced 8,685 B-24 Liberators, more than any factory had ever built of a single bomber type in history. The B-24 became the backbone of the American strategic bombing campaign over Germany, over Italy. Over the Balkans, over the oil fields of Ploiesti, over the Pacific. The Luftwaffe was overwhelmed not by one plane nor by one tactic, but by the relentless pressure of industrial superiority. When Germany ran out of fuel, America built more. When Germany lost pilots, America trained more. When Germany lost factories, America expanded production lines. Willow Run wasn't the only plant, but it was the symbol of what America could do. When industrial might became a weapon, and it was the symbol of what the Abwehr had tried to warn on that quiet day in March. The legacy of March 17, 1943 In the grand narrative of World War II, most people talk about D-Day, Stalingrad, Midway, El Alamein, but the war's turning point may well have been a date few remember. March 17, 1943. It was the day German intelligence admitted the truth, the day they recognized the rising tide of American industry, the day they saw that the arsenal of democracy was too vast, too fast, too powerful to counter. It was the day the war was lost on paper before it was lost on the battlefield. History is not always shaped by gunfire and explosions. Sometimes it is shaped by blueprints, assembly lines, and the quiet hum of a factory floor. Willow Run showed the world that wars are not just fought by soldiers, but by workers, engineers, architects, and everyday citizens. This is why the Abwehr's report mattered. This is why March 17th mattered. And this is why long before Berlin fell. The war had already been decided by a single unstoppable force. American production. When the dust settled and the war finally ended, the factories fell silent. The workers returned home. The assembly lines slowed to a stop, but the legacy of Willow Run and the warning of the march. 17 report remains one of history's greatest lessons, that in the modern era, the true battlefield is not only land, sea, or air. It is the factory, and on that battlefield, America built a weapon Germany could never defeat, a bomber every hour, a symbol of a nation's unity and power, * a reality the Abwehr saw and Hitler refused to believe. War was not lost in Berlin, it was lost in Michigan. In a factory glowing with lights, * filled with workers, echoing with the sound of an assembly line that never slept. And that is the story * of the day German spies knew. * The war was lost. *. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more interesting stories.